welcome to the Spiritual Counseling TV network. My name is Christy Ramirez and I'm your soul coach, and welcome to today's daily morning spiritual guidance for Monday, May 2nd, 2022. So today is the start of a beautiful new week, and I'm really feeling like we are at the peak of spring, which we are, and this is definitely the peak of the blossoming of our projects, what we've been cultivating, what we've been working on so hard behind the scenes and also on the scenes, right? Whatever you do for a living, I feel like that's a main hot topic for this week. But I also feel that, you know, a lot of our internal self is also being highlighted as how can we improve our way of thinking, how can we improve our attitude towards life, and how can we also overcome challenges with more grace. Because I do feel like, again, that's the struggle this week, but I do feel that along with the struggle also comes beautiful rewards, right? Because without the struggle, the reward is not as great and sweet, right? And I feel like the sweetness of life is definitely going to be felt this week as a reward for having dealt with the obstacles and the challenges that God is throwing our way, only to make us stronger, and not even so much to test us per se, because a lot of us light workers have already passed those tests. Now it's just about just making us stronger, making us also more resilient to not giving in to the temptation of wanting to overreact. That's something that we're definitely mastering, and we can only do that with practice, right? Practice makes it perfect, right? We perfect things through repetition. So I do feel like God is throwing us repetitive triggers, you can say, that are even nonsense. They're very silly, but it can throw you off your mood if you're already sensitive in that moment, right? Especially when we're very sensitive emotionally. Our emotions and our ability to handle our emotions, which is called emotional intelligence, does get heightened, right? And I feel like that's what we're strongly dealing with. So this almost motivates me to want to begin again my therapy sessions at the Spiritual Counseling TV network, because that's a lot what we would talk about in those sessions. And that's definitely something that I am going to be resuming as soon as I have time, as soon as I can get back to the office and start to film those series, because that was so helpful. That's like a psychology session for all of us, you can say, for everyone who is a member at the Spiritual Counseling TV network. And I would love for all of you to definitely check out that membership program and check out the exclusive content, because a lot of what I do exclusive at the Spiritual Counseling TV network is so informative, educational, things that I've learned over years in graduate school and years of experience with clients firsthand. So this is not just coming off nowhere, off the top of my head, or even off books. This is coming off from experience along with research. It's very in tune with how it's going to help us on the spiritual journey and evolving on our soul journey. So definitely check it out. I feel like that's a main, I guess, topic for today. Check it out, because I feel like if any of you do need therapy, or you want to seek out help for anything that you're dealing with mentally or even emotionally, or even relationship wise, right? Or if you have children that are dealing with this, I would be glad to be your soul coach and give my expert spiritual guidance and help you all deal with anything that life is throwing your way. You don't want to be in the category that's being sucked by fear. And that's a really sad way of living if you're in that category, because I do feel like there's two categories at the current moment. There are the people who are already over that fear, right? And they're just working on holding it together, holding the mission together, prevailing against any energies that are lower vibrational, prevailing against even their own ego that might want to get in the way of that peace, of that momentum in the mission, right? And that's again the ego within self that needs to be dissolved. And that's what we talk about actually in one of my current book series at the Spiritual Book Club, which is a special gathering group that you can have access to as part of my School of Light membership. And when we're reading there, we're currently reading A Course in Miracles, which I'm going to be beginning the series very soon again. I'm going to be refilming that series so you can all have access to it. And that's what we learn, is how to dissolve the ego, let go of any fear that is created by the ego, and allow love to take over, which is what our higher self really wants to live by. And that is our goal. on the soul journey. It is to be able to live through our higher self all the time. And it's almost like being perfect, being holy, being absolutely Christ-like. And I know it's very difficult because we're all human on some level, right? Even if we have ascended, even if we're on the journey towards enlightenment, we still have a lot of work to do, everybody. And so that is our challenge this week. That is definitely the main challenge. And I did speak about this in 2 weekends ago. I did a special live stream on the reinitiation. And I talked about how God is wanting to turn light workers who are already graduated, you can say, at the level, he's wanting to turn us into super light workers, super earth angels. And that's almost like reaching perfection on earth. And I know it's going to be difficult, but the more that we just keep going, even if it keeps hitting us from every angle, right? Because I feel like that's almost like what Christ dealt with, right? I feel like that's so ironic because we just had Easter, which is about the resurrection. This is an upcoming event that is still yet to take place. So I feel like we're still going through that energy, which is why we're still feeling that energy. At least I am, right? And my birthday was yesterday, and I'm 33 years old, and that's the age that Christ was crucified and then also resurrected. So it's like he dealt with the worst only to come out towards his best, right? And I feel like that's what we're almost feeling. Like, you know, knives are being thrown at us, you can say. And that's also spiritually and energetically what happens when, you know, hate goes around, or when, you know, there's arguments, or when there's animosity towards people. And that should not affect your journey or even your progression, right? You drop that off away, you brush it off away, and you keep going on your journey. You let God cleanse you. And that's again what my health and wellness brand is for, body, mind, and spirit, is to spiritually cleanse us and make sure that our aura is always pure. That's what our Sambal healing session is, every spirituality retreat that we do every 2 weeks. It really does cleanse you on a spiritual level. So if you're dealing with any of that I kind of mentioned today, then you definitely want to check out my health and wellness brand, especially today. So let's get into the cards today, and let us ask God to give us some extra guidance. What angel wants to work with us today behind the scenes in the spiritual realm? Because I feel like there's a lot of spiritual battles that we don't have control over. Only our angels can do that for us, along with God. And our angels are working very hard. I really do see that. And we need to trust that they have it under control. And whatever speck or kind of like spillover of energy that we're dealing with in the earthly realm, we just need to accept it and then need to trust that it will dissipate. And it's almost just like an awareness, right? Just having an awareness of what's going on spiritually. But it doesn't. So don't let it affect whatever it is that you're doing in your current moment. And remember this quote: whatever is happening around you won't change until you change what's happening within you. And that's a very powerful quote, because that's definitely what I'm feeling for today. We need to change our perspective about even what's going on. So definitely make sure that you check out the weekly spiritual guidance, which I did talk about this, and we're going to go even deeper into the extended weekly spiritual guidance, which is a live stream on my Instagram page. So let us get started. Let us ask which angel, and let me take a little sip of coffee here. All right. So our Golden Wings Archangel message for today. Wow. Dear Archangel Zerachiel, whose name means God's command, thank you for always watching over me and securing my safety. Please watch over all abused children in the world and keep them safe. So if any of you are dealing with abuse, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's parental, or whether it's, you know, even, you know, career-wise, like in your job, this is something that you can definitely ask Archangel Zerachiel to help you to be able to stand up for yourself and set healthy boundaries and definitely get out of that situation, right? May you bless them with your love and light. Love, your divine child. So this also energy that is currently going on today might also be as strong as like almost like abusive energy, right? And I feel like, you know, our archangels are taking care of that. So don't worry. And last, but I think we're needing another archangel message for today. Dear Archangel Uriel, the light of God. You see, we will reach that light. Thank you for illuminating any imperfections and helping me to correct them, to be in greater spiritual alignment. Exactly what I said in today's weekly spiritual guidance, right? Any little minor shifts or redirections is just to illuminate imperfections, where you can perfect yourself and be a better person. How can you do things better as well? Thank you for sparking inspiration in my life. Love, your divine child. So I do feel like because there's a lot of new things, new commands even, a new task, you know, we're really needing to be very, very perfect in the way that we're conducting our life. That includes routine, that includes lifestyle habits, that includes even the order of what we do things, right? Because that is going to affect the time that we show up to certain appointments or responsibilities in our life, right? And I feel like by making it a very consistent time, that's how we create structure. And I do feel like a lot of us do need structure. At least I'm a person that needs structure. There's a lot of people that don't live by structure, but those are also the people that are very always emotionally up or down, right? Because there is like an emotional roller coaster, because there is no stability in their life. And when we have structure, or at least a blueprint, at least a guideline, then at least it becomes more graceful, right? And at least the order as well. But I do feel like even time-wise, you know, even though there is divine timing, you know, our body does function off time, right? Our circadian rhythm. And so long as you choose a schedule of your liking, stick by that schedule and try not to throw off that schedule too much, right? Like, don't wake up early one day and then wake up later one day. If you're gonna wake up later one day and you want to do it every day, then do it every day. But don't kind of like switch it off, because then that's when it really does mess with our mood, our well-being, right? Because it's hormonal now. But if you want to wake up early every day, then wake up early every day and not just a couple of days of the week. So I do feel like God is wanting to create more of this balance and consistency. And this begins today, right? Because it is Monday and this is what sets the tone for the week. And then we're wanting to use this week to also set the tone for the rest of our year. At least this year. Let us think short term first before we go long term. Because there are certain things that you can do long term, but then other things that serve us best to think short term, right? Because you can't expect to achieve long-term goals in just a span of a week or a span of a month, right? It's those little steps that you take daily, weekly, and monthly that are going to take you to those bigger goals. So this week, we're needing to decide, specifically this Monday, so maybe during your reflection at night, in your journaling, decide how you want to live your life. What kind of life you want to live, what kind of hourly schedule you want to live by, and then make that your new habit. And I feel like that's how it's going to be better. Instead of trying to go, you know, flip-floppy and kind of like just even being mad at yourself for not sticking to something that maybe is not realistic, right? And that's where we're really needing to be honest with ourselves and realistic when setting our goals. Be very realistic so that you don't get disappointed. Okay, that's a good guidance for today on Monday. All right, and daily affirmation, because I feel like that's almost like what I've been feeling. You know, trying to be perfect, not really, but like more like just trying to like meet these expectations, meet my goals that are unrealistic at the time frame that I'm setting them, right? Because there are a lot of things that I need to do and projects that take time. So be realistic with yourself and be compassionate with yourself as well. And yeah, today's affirmation is, I am strong and brave. I can do this. Be brave, be strong, be courageous to make these changes. And then our spiritual guidance for today on Monday, right away. Yes, forgiveness will set you free. I feel like we are dealing a little bit with black shadows, black thoughts, but indulge in life's pleasures. This is what's going to help you to get out of this energy. Forgive yourself for you did nothing wrong. So if you feel like you're being overly harsh on yourself, just forgive yourself. Have mercy on yourself. Have compassion. And then just indulge in life's pleasures. Because I also feel also this week that we are getting a little bit of a vacation, well needed. The universe has got you. A little bit of a break, a self-love break, self-care week, because I feel like we've been having to do so much, trying to keep up, to do so many things that is taking over our life, and we haven't been able to really have that moment to like relax and breathe. Maybe it's just been a couple, but not like at our usual pace. That, you know, I feel like for me, my life has been like overly hectic these past few months, and I feel like I am almost getting a vacation this week to like back off certain things and just focus on like my mission, you can say, and then the other projects that I need to do that are time sensitive and need to get done this week, because I feel like next week we're really getting back on track with like everything. So if you need to take a step back, if you need to take a couple days off to yourself, like a little maybe week getaway, do it, and it's gonna serve you so well. So that is the energy for today on Monday. I'll see you all tomorrow for our daily morning spiritual guidance. Namaste.